So what in the world do you do when you're doing a winter trip and it is supposed to be springing, and it drops down to 21 degrees with single-digit wind chill, and everything is going to freeze? Well, let me show you a few things that we've done. This has been our winter trip, and I'll open up the bay here. Sorry, this is going to be a little dark, but I'll open up the bay here and show you some of the tricks that we've done to keep our pipes from freezing. We haven't had any problem. We were in Asheville in single-digit wind chill. We were in Bristol, Tennessee with some really cold weather. And here's just a couple tips. Regardless of where you're going to be staying, you can go into the cold weather. You can still have a good time, and you can still not have any problems. I will mention this. This is supposed to be a 4-season camper. The joke is spring, summer, fall, and not winter. But there are some benefits that you want to, if you haven't bought a fifth wheel or you haven't bought a camper, let me give you a couple tips as I'll turn the camera around and show you some things that are just absolutely must-haves, so that your pipes won't freeze and bust, and so you'll have water. So here we go. Let me turn this thing around. So if you're going to do the cold weather time, this is absolutely a must-have. This is called a freeze band. There's a couple brands that are out there. I think I got this one at Camping World. This is a long one. This is a 50-foot. They're kind of expensive, like about 180 bucks. But if you get in a long campground and you don't have it, when we were in Bristol, they had winterized the water connections. As you'll notice here, these are not winterized, so I never had to unhook and the hoses would not freeze. When I was in Asheville at Mama Gertie's, they didn't have them winterized. So here's what you do. You just, you unconnect this at night and drop this down, and it will drain the water out to the bottom. They've got some kind of a mechanism where it drains out the bottom, and that pipe will not freeze up. We never had that happen in any of the locations in this winter travel, even down into the single digits. So, but you got to get you a freeze band. There's just no way you're going to be able to work without it. If it gets really, really cold, I'll take the water filter off. And we haven't had to do that this go around, so I don't know how cold it's got to get for that to be able to work. Something else I want to show you as well. See these garage lights? I call them garage lights. Those are 75-watt light bulbs. We put them here in the bay. And then in this bay, even last night in the single digits, the bay never got over 45 degrees. I'll show you how I can tell that as well. I'll try to get the camera over here as well. This is going to be kind of hard for you to see, but you'll notice I took this, I'll show you where I took this off, and I put one on the inside as well. This is where all the manifold and all the hoses are. I'm not going to take it down for the video, but basically you just take a couple screws off here, and this panel comes off right here, and I was able to put 2 of those in there. So, when it's cold and it's freezing, that will save you kimchi, my friends. That'll keep everything from freezing up. So we have not had any problems whatsoever. None whatsoever. Get you a good freeze band. The other thing you want to make sure you do, especially if it's winterized, make sure you take this thing right here. This slips up over the end, and that'll protect it as well. But it's absolutely critical. And I'll show you. This is something else you can tell if you're winterized as well. So you can look here at the bottom. You see this is all closed off, and it's packed full of insulation. If it's open and you've got open pipes, then you are not winterized, and you're going to have some kind of problem. I don't know. I would say drain your water if you're going to go into the cold areas. So this is the inside of the garage. You can see the other side of the light that's over there. And then, yeah, I know it's kind of messy. But if you'll notice right here, that's the temperature sensor. It's just battery operated that we put down here in the bay in the winter just to be able to monitor. I think I bought that thing off Walmart, either at Walmart or Amazon. I can't remember. I think it was 15 bucks, and it's got an inside gauge as well. And it's pretty accurate. I haven't had any problem with it whatsoever. So definitely something you should think about if you're going to be doing the cold winter, and making sure your pipes don't freeze. So the other thing that I do as well is I always make sure that I put probably 20-30 gallons of water in my internal tank. I have had the pipes freeze on the outside no matter what steps you took. It wasn't the hose, but where I hooked up to froze. So You still want to be able to have water to, flush and wash dishes and wash your face, brush your teeth, etc. Yeah, sure, you can keep a couple gallon jugs, but just put you a couple gallons in your tank. And if you can keep it warm, like we do here, we've actually got heater blankets that came with the rig that made it part of that winterizing package, so I can turn those on, and it'll actually keep my gray and freshwater and blackwater tank from freezing up, and it really works. It works really, really well. I don't think it produces a tremendous amount of heat, but again, if you take these steps, get you a good freeze band hose, put you some light bulbs. Don't get LEDs, don't get fluorescents. They won't produce any heat. You got to get an old school standard 75 watt bulb. You can buy those lights. Don't get the plastic ones, get the one with the metal case on the outside. Make sure you do not put it up against something plastic, because it will get hot and it could melt, like wiring, your water hose, any of those types of things. And just find you a good safe place to be able to hang it. And again, I was monitoring the temperature. I've got a temperature gauge in here that I can read on the inside, and it was 45 degrees last night with single-digit wind chill last night. So it works, and we didn't have any frozen pipes. So a couple tips how to be able to manage the cold weather when you're out here on your winter trip RVing around.